Welcome back, ass men, to American Super Squad. This is episode 3. This is Matt, and I'm joined by my co-host, Ramon Robolino.
That's me, and I'm back, and we're here for all you ass boys and girls and everything in between.
And non-binaries. Let's not forget the NBs out there that listen to the pod.
So all 0 of you.
Well, there's at least one.
Oh, never mind. We're big time, folks.
There's at least one that I am aware of. They actually helped promote the pod, so I would recommend you be very
So,
kind
yeah,
and
now
respectful.
if you're a listener and you're not non-binary, go fuck yourself.
This is a non-binary only podcast.
This is a non-binary podcast.
That's our niche.
Yep.
If you identify as a man or a woman, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
first
sorry.
of all. If you've noticed, the sound quality may have gone up
exponentially
since our previous episode. I shelled out a good chunk of cash on some good audio equipment. So
I let my Jewish co-host do the spending, so he knew how it felt for once.
I did all the accounting. So us Jews are very good with money. This is the sound
What is that, Matt?
This is the sound that I play when I'm making big business decisions.
What kind of production value are we working with now?
High production value. That's what we're working with.
Feeling ready to bomb some Palestinians right about now.
Oh, yeah. We got some sounds on the soundboard that I'll be ready to pop out at a moment's notice. You know, you never know what you're going to get.
That'll pop out.
Oh, yeah. It's like Forrest Gump, baby. Life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Could be some Israeli music. Could be some memes. Could be some slurs, possibly. One or two. You know, obscure ones, not ones that would... offend the modern listener.
Mm-hmm. Very antiquated slurs.
Yeah. Ramon specializes in sociology. I specialize in antiquated slurs.
Yeah, exactly.
Slurs from the 13th, 14th century that no longer have any meaning whatsoever.
Or they're directed at communities that are otherwise just generic white people. And we were talking,
like the Irish.
Yeah, Ellis Island slurs.
Yeah, those good old Ellis Island slurs.
Well, I can't get enough of those.
Like Mick or Kike.
Oh.
I can use both of those because I'm Irish and Italian.
We got WAP.
And Jewish. Sorry. I almost forgot.
He's all of them, folks. So
oh, yeah.
No one out
I'm
there
multicultural, baby. I'm a multicultural white man, a Renaissance man, if you will.
I think the most risque we're going to get is Moulignon.
Yeah. Even that's pushing the boundaries a little bit.
Pushing the envelope these days.
Well, yeah, because it's a derogatory term for black people, but it is also possibly the silliest slur to ever be made because it literally means eggplant. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're offended by that,
if you're offended by
that,
it's
a little silly.
I got one thing to blame.
Fucking internet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Blame it on the internet, Ramon.
Oh, I will.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're doing this.
But yeah, in terms of main topics for today, we have a few on the roster. In personal news, Ramon got his wisdom teeth taken out.
Yep.
He was out of commission for a little bit. His big DSLs were off the market. DSLs.
No.
DSLs, actually.
Nope. Well, I have DSLs because I think they're a desirable trait, but I don't use them as DSLs.
Ramon, so. I wouldn't tussle with the man who has control of the soundboard here because I can do things like this.
That
Gay!
Yeah, that's
okay. Sorry.
Ben Chang.
I shouldn't mess with the guy with the fucking soundboard from 2012, folks. My mistake.
Excuse you, 2016 at least.
That was a Uno reverse card, folks. Disregard. And again, I will state for the record, DSLs on man or woman or non-binary, whatever you might be, regardless of your sexual orientation, I believe that is a compliment. It's a compliment. And
it is a compliment.
It doesn't mean you suck dick. It just means you have lips that would give nice head. And I assume that lips that give nice head are genuinely like pretty attractive, wouldn't you say?
I mean, yes.
Thank you very much.
To get my dick sucked.
I have aesthetically pleasing DSLs, but they are not. They do not function as such.
First of all, you do not have DSLs. I can confirm that your DSLs are lacking, to say the least. And second of all, you suck dick anyways. So
no.
This is proven.
Yeah, first of all, look, are they the biggest DSLs? Probably not, but I think they pass the test easily. I've never heard anyone complain about my lips. I guess the only people who have been complaining are men like Matt, who are frustrated that they don't have DSLs because every time they try to go suck dick, they get complaints that it's fucking hard and chapped, and it's like a couple little rolls of sandpaper going over the cock. So I can't.
Yeah, Ramon would know. He keeps his ear to the ground. Ramon is single-handedly responsible for the dick-sucking economy in our city.
I'm not.
I actually went down to the Chamber of Commerce earlier this week, and they were all scared about not only the recession, but the gap in the market left by Ramon's DSLs being off the market.
The gap in your mouth that you used to suck cock.
No, the gap in your mouth that you used to suck cock that was filled by gauze from your wisdom tooth
filled by
surgery.
gauze because I literally blew my jaw out eating every attractive pussy
man's
in
dick.
Tacoma. No,
man's dick.
No, I think I arguably, if you do it right, eating pussy is more of a jaw workout than sucking dick easily.
I mean, as someone who has only ate pussy, I would not know what to compare it to. It's like apples and oranges, but
Okay, Matt.
Shut the fuck up.
What a fucking liar, dude! What a
I'm lying, huh?
Weaslly little liar, dude.
I'm trying to represent for the fellas right now, okay?
Representing for the fella. I'm representing for the fellas too, more than you do.
No.
As a bisexual man, I represent all fellas, straight and gay.
Well, I guess definitely the bottom fellas, but
no, I represent the tops. Though I am not opposed to representing the bottoms as well if they will give me head as compensation.
Okay, well. We know you're an equal opportunist.
Yeah, I'm not quite pro bono. I'm pro my boner in someone's mouth.
Yeah, I'm pro bono at the moment, but I will be pro boner if a certain chewing tablet company ever sponsors us.
Yes.
But until that day, I have advice for all our listeners. Until that day, I fully advocate for doing everything you can do to maintain a soft dick. We're running counter opposition to the mission of Blue Chew until we get paid.
Yeah, we're on the body positivity kick of, keep your dick soft. If you have ED, don't do anything about it.
Smoke more cigarettes.
Smoke more cigarettes. Yep. Eat more red meat. Do all the things that will keep it limp. Keep it nice and
lock
limp.
your little sissy clitty in chastity.
Hey, here we go. What's the timestamp? 7 minutes in.
Well, I'm just saying, look.
Ramon brings it back to sissiology.
I would love a Blue Chew sponsorship, but if we get sponsored by some sort of like sissy bondage company,
sissy adjacent sex toy company.
I won't say no to that money either. I think that would be a really interesting untapped area of the market. So
I mean, as a Jewish man, I'll never say no to money.
Exactly.
But
or cock.
No. Yet again.
What a fucking liar, dude.
What a fucking liar.
Weasley little liar, dude.
Well, who? Okay, Matt. Speaking of that sound clip, who is that?
Oh yeah, this is our good friend of the show, bankroller of the podcast, Hasan Piker.
Everything we say is supported in 100% by Hasan Piker of Los Angeles, California.
Yes, of West Hollywood, California. Yes. Address 1801 Suck Dicks Boulevard.
Yeah,
that seems like a real street that would be in
Howard
West
Stern
Hollywood.
West Studios.
The Howard Stern West Studios.
Yep.
Fuck.
But old Howard Stern, the controversial one, not the one now who shills for Hillary, the one who invited literal midget autists on his show to be made fun of.
Yeah.
The cool one.
The cool one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't guessed by now, our target for today, or not our target, but what's a good way to spin
our target in Minecraft, Matt, in a video game.
Our target in Minecraft in a video game is Hasan Piker, famous political streamer / gamer / wannabe socialite porn star, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I think he wants to be like a POV porn star. I don't think he'd want to show his face on camera, but
no, I don't think he would. I think
Coward.
He has latent body dysmorphia, even though he is
so obvious.
Fucking jacked as shit right now. Like, he looks fine right now, but like, because he was a fat kid, he still has that fat kid syndrome, where he's just extremely insecure, which is digging a little too hard into him just off the bat. But we'll get into why he deserves it in a little bit.
Well, when we were talking about it before the podcast, Matt was saying like, "Oh, if I ever met him, I'd be so totally."
That's a miscategorization.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
I would
that
play
you say
the
that.
Weasley Little Liar clip, but I feel we're already overusing the soundboard a little bit.
Well,
we're gonna go mad with
we
power.
didn't buy it not to use it, Matt. Okay?
Yeah, we're milking all that it's worth, all the money that it's worth. In the first episode, so we're gonna get some mileage out of it. But anyways, back to Hasan. This story starts in a little country in the Middle East called Turkey. Hasan was born to a prosperous family. Rode horses as a child, went to private school in Turkey, which is, equivalent to public
We're like
school.
Turk she, am I right? My body, my choice.
Fucking internet.
Sorry.
Oh, I meant to play the
Thank you.
but yeah, he grew up in Turkey, went to private school there, which is equivalent to public school in America. Then, and at some point in his adolescence, he moved to America, went to public school, which was a huge culture shock for him. He got bullied by an Italian man.
Thank you.
Which he talks about frequently.
Thank you, good sir. If you're out there listening, thank you.
Thank you for your service. But he was bullied by an Italian kid in public school in America. He grew up in New Jersey, of all places.
Yeah, the home of class and dignity in America.
Yeah, the home of class, dignity, and a bunch of super
Chivalry's
fun sex.
not dead in Jersey.
Chivalry is alive and well in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Oh, definitely.
But anyways, he was bullied by an Italian kid, which makes a lot more sense with the context that he was living in Jersey. It just seems inevitable that it would be an Italian kid that would bully him. But he was a chubby kid up until, I believe, late high school, early college. When he went to college, that's when he went into his quote-unquote wiling out period. He joined a frat, unsurprisingly, went to a university in Florida that I'm forgetting the name of.
I think it was at University of Miami.
I think it might have been University of Miami.
Which is a shame because that school looks fun as fuck, but he unfortunately probably ruined it forever.
Well, it being a Florida university, I think it was already pretty ruined before he got there.
Well,
let's just be clear about that. Florida is a hellhole,
Florida
which is
rocks.
a point of contention that we
Florida
have.
fucking rocks, folks.
Ramon is a little too pro Florida, which concerns me from time to time.
I support your right to say gay, folks, but I'm saying you can't argue with the weather, folks. You can't argue with the weather.
You cannot argue with the weather, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, he went to college in Florida, joined a frat house with all that comes with, and he he cummed quite a bit.
Coomer.
I'm skipping over a large piece of his childhood here that's a bit relevant, but when he was a child, growing up in Turkey, if you don't know, if you're not cultured, Turkey has a very progressive policy of banning all pornography.
I love it.
So, as a recourse, Hasan had to draw his own, and what he would resort to is drawing fucking big titty anime figures that he would then jerk off to later.
He's a fucking nerd, bro. He couldn't even draw regular big titty Turkish women he saw at the fucking on the street. He'd just go and draw fucking Ichitachi Nani or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like, come
apparently
on,
he's
man.
not even interested in Turkish women. Like he
course not.
fetishizes Aryan women of all.
Of course,
women.
every man who's fucking covered in black body hair and is not from the United States of America fetishizes a fucking blonde.
Yeah, I don't
that's the way
I don't
it is.
understand it. As
You got-
someone who
that's
likes
the way it is everywhere.
brunettes a bit more,
Middle East, fucking South America, fucking God knows where else. I mean, like that's. I mean, I'm not gonna even get into Africa.
Yeah, let's stay away from Africa for a little bit.
Look, I respect the hell out of the African guys that come and bag some Fox News looking broad. But,
Oh yeah, of course,
you know.
respect. Like if you can get that bag, that Nigerian prince bag, then do it. I am going to come to America to marry a woman from Fox News.
Yep, I respect that.
Yeah,
And then
respect.
Just like his whole personality is like, well, I'm a black guy from Africa, and I still think Obama was born there. So fucking checkmate.
Are we talking about
awesome.
Malik Obama now?
Oh yeah, well I guess that fits him to a T. I mean, I think the 90 Day Fiance has a guy like that too. He's married some fucking abominable looking woman from Georgia. I mean, just if Marjorie Taylor Greene like was a chain smoker instead of a CrossFit coach, this is what she would look like.
Oh
This
God,
fucking dog from backwater Georgia.
she a fucking dog.
She a dog. And he's like just this fucking happy-go-lucky Nigerian guy who also just fucking connected with this woman on a deeper spiritual level because they both love Trump, which is awesome. So yeah, they're out there. They got some really interesting personalities. And long story short, if you're any sort of immigrant from any sort of ethnic country and the predominant look of men in your country is black body hair all over your body except maybe your head because you're bald, you will inevitably marry a blonde woman who will drain the life out of you.
Yep, it's sort of a parallel to the Latina curse that white men face. is white men will go in for a spicy Latina girlfriend and then turns out they weren't ready for that level of spice.
Nope. 9 months later, they got little Jaime coming out.
And then they got the chanclas flying
They got the
left and
chanclas,
right.
baby. And then the dad is depressed because he's trying to relate to her family that barely speaks any English, but he's too lazy to learn any Spanish. And they sort of just smile at each other during the carne asada cookouts, but deep down they hate each other. And the guy's probably going to vote for Trump just out of spite because he wishes they never came to this country.
Yeah. A tale as old as time.
As old as time, folks.
But anyways, back to Hasan. He would draw porn for himself in Turkey because he had no access to it.
Not very socialist of him either. He kept it for himself. He didn't share.
Yeah, he wasn't distributing
Yeah.
the means of jacking off.
He didn't post it in the DSA zine of the week. It was very disappointing that
Well,
he
I
kept
don't
it to
think
himself.
Turkey allows that sort of political.
Oh, I'm
activism.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Now you have to cower to the state, I guess, is what Matt's saying.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Hasan did. I
Hasan,
don't think he
yeah.
was doing any political activism in Turkey.
Yeah, he's too much of a coward to publish a pornographic socialist zine in Turkey at age 12.
Yeah, I
Fucking
mean,
coward.
you pretty much summed up my point. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be the Sigma thing to do.
Oh, we're back to the soundboard, folks.
Oh yeah,
That's probably loud as
real Sigmas. Oh yeah, sorry, that's probably loud as shit. We did not fix the levels on that sound clip. So
Nope. Still pay us. So,
yeah, still subscribe to the Patreon, American Super Squad at patreon.com.
the more money we get, the more we'll think about changing the levels, folks.
Yeah, we put in this initial investment for free to you, but if you want any further improvement, this is where the buck stops.
Yeah.
Unless we get more money, because I am not spending another fucking $800 on more equipment, and we're also not going to put any more effort into improving the sound
No,
quality.
we don't need to, Matt. Fucking Stavi babies leaving Cumtown. We're here to fill the void. We're like ISIS. Once the United States fucking toppled the government in Iraq and all that shit, basically there's a power vacuum that needed to be filled. And we had these new Zoomer terrorists come in called ISIS, and they fucking rock shit and they fuck shit up. I think it's our turn to.
And I'll tell you what, Stav leaving, that's a pretty big vacuum.
That's a very big vacuum, folks.
It's a pretty big vacuum to fill.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google Stavros Halkias gut. It's big.
It is large and in charge.
Yep.
But anyways, good for Stav. Good for him.
I guess. I mean, come on. He's leaving behind like God knows how much money to literally sit and do what we're doing.
I mean, I think he's like getting a little ambitious now because like he's becoming a household name. Surprisingly, like
Sort of, yeah.
normal people are talking about going to his shows now, which is kind of crazy to me.
I just fear he's going to fly too close to the sun, and then a little arrow called a Nick Mullen sound clip is going to come and shoot him down.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Stav positioned himself as the least problematic one.
I think, well, he
pod.
certainly tried, but there's only so much weaselly you can do when you're on tape laughing your fucking lungs out about a guy slowly spilling out the N-word about the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And then half-heartedly going, no, don't do it.
yeah, no, stop. This is not funny.
No, please don't.
So again, I mean, you know, we're not. Yeah, of course. You know, we wish him well. It's
Well, of
just,
course, we wish him the best because
Yeah.
that's the
because we're trying to
footsteps
get
I
him
wanna
on the
follow in.
podcast. We're trying,
and we're trying to get him
Yeah.
on the pod. Oh yeah.
yeah. So we're trying to kiss as much ass as possible, get as many people as we can on the pod, and that's what it is.
Yeah, we're starting local. We have a guest coming next weekend. Local comic Jacob Amon. Little
out,
shout
J-boy.
out to that. He couldn't make it this week because his girlfriend was sick, which is pretty gay.
Oh,
But,
I'm sorry. You have COVID. Oh, I guess I should lose my balls then.
He's a good guy.
Gay!
Ramon.
Sorry, Jacob. We had to do it.
We had to do it to him. But now we have call-in functionality as well, so I could call him too at some point, even if we can't wrestle him onto the
If we have
into the Anthony Cumia Studios,
Yeah.
or sorry, the Hasan Piker Studios.
Hasan Piker West Studios.
Yeah,
Well, I guess he's already west, but we're probably further west. So
yeah.
yeah.
We'll say we're further west just to piss him off a little bit. West Coast,
Fucking-
best coast, baby.
Yep.
But-
Back to I guess we kind of Hasan. Well, we gave Hasan's background. Let's maybe talk a little bit about what makes him so much of an easy target, I guess you could say.
Well, yeah. I think the biggest thing that makes him a target is the disingenuousness that is so apparent in his streaming style and the content that he makes. He positions himself as an activist.
He's
and as
woke
this
AF.
Political pundit. He desperately wants to be the next Rachel Maddow, though that will never happen. After
Who would you rather fuck, Matt? Rachel Maddow or Hasan Piker?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'll say Rachel.
Interesting.
Just because in my experience, girls with short hair have pretty good pussy, but
True.
also Rachel's a lesbian, so I don't know how that would work.
A lesbian.
I've only bypassed that barrier twice in my life, which is 2 more times than most people are able to bypass.
Well,
that
you've
barrier.
bypassed the gay sex barrier several times. To be fair. So
Yes, I
sex
have
with
had gay sex.
Yeah, gay sex with, admittedly, yes, gay women, but also gay men who are gay.
Yeah, but think of it this way, Ramon. As a man, having sex with a lesbian woman is like equal to having sex with a billion women.
No, that's a hard doubt for me, folks.
No, I'd say it is because it's
Because you
it's a bigger
fucked a
achievement.
bookworm, a bookworm woman who listens to NPR. That's a billion women. Because she had sex with her and she was wearing a fucking turtleneck.
She was not wearing a turtleneck. Thank you
Well,
very
I'm
much.
just stereotyping lesbians right now, but I in what world is Ellen worth a billion other women?
First of all, I would never have sex with Ellen. That's
Well,
incredibly
Just saying, it's
disrespectful
a lesbian. It's a
to me.
high-profile lesbian.
It is a high-profile lesbian, but it's
So.
not the caliber of lesbian that I would. I
Oh,
would get with.
not the caliber, folks.
Yeah, I exclusively get with closeted, quote unquote, straight women who are in the military and have wives.
Oh, okay. Reverse
That
closet,
seems to be
folks.
my niche. It really shows how much progress we've had as a society that lesbian women can now cheat on their wives with young college boys, just like straight men do.
Exactly.
Um,
And for the spouse to be in the military too, it's very
Yeah.
progressive. Yeah,
very progressive. It shows a lot of parallels in our society. but-
it's sort of like a don't ask, don't tell, but on the side of the spouse who cheats, I guess.
yeah, the bro code, if
Yeah.
you will.
You're welcome to be lesbian or gay in the barracks in the military, but you come home to your wife or your husband or whoever, and you ask what they've been up to, and they're somehow 6 months pregnant after a year-long deployment. There's a strict don't ask, don't tell policy enforced in that household.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yep.
thinking there's a don't ask, don't tell policy in that scenario. But anyways, back to Hasan.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
Yeah, he's just very disingenuous. the biggest controversy recently is he bought a $3 million house in West Hollywood, which a lot of people are divided on. Some people are thinking, oh, that's fine. Like, use your money how you want to.
Yeah.
And, like,
Put
I
your
see
money
that
on
side of the
Tesla.
argument because, you know, if it is your money, you can do what you want. But at the same time, when you position yourself as an activist and as someone who cares about people less fortunate than yourself and people in the working class, which I would not consider Hasan a part of the working class. I think he has tried to make the argument.
He technically works.
I think he has tried to make the argument that he works hard, but
Yeah, okay, buddy.
I think it's self-apparent by watching his 12-hour streams where most of it is him.
I went through a lot of emotional labor when I broke up with my porn star girlfriend and had to go on stream that same day and beg for donations. It was hard.
And sit for 2 hours eating some fucking Turkish chicken salad for
Jesus
4
Christ.
hours.
Yeah, and then throwing it up immediately after stream.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Hashtag body positive, folks.
I don't know that those claims are unsubstantiated, but him buying a $3 million house is real. And, you know, no matter what you think, he can use his money however he wants, of course. But at the same time, when you're positioning yourself in that manner as, you know, this man of the people figure, all about the proletariat, all about class struggle, it feels a bit disingenuous when you then use that money that people are giving you.
I got a class he can struggle with. Fucking suck my dick 101, bitch.
Oh, yeah. I think that deserves the riff.
I'm here all day, folks.
Oh, yeah. Ramona's here all day. He's the comic relief for when I get a little bit too on my El Politico shit. But anyways, yeah, he bought a $3 million house, and some people are defending him, but personally, I think it's a little hypocritical to make such a large purchase and live so largely, quote unquote largely, because it is
I'm
California.
calling him large because I want him to keep throwing up after stream.
Jesus
You're big,
Christ.
Hasan. Keep working on that body.
Christ,
You're almost there, but you're not on the top of the mountain yet, folks. You'll get there.
This is not a body shaming podcast, Ramon.
Remember, nothing tastes as good as looking beautiful feels, or whatever the fuck the line is.
Nothing tastes as good as pretty feels.
Yep.
Is I think the line that I've been quoted from girls on Tinder dates a few times.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't make good choices in the women that I date, unfortunately.
Nope.
But yeah, he bought a $3 million house. Also, skipping past one of his major controversies, he claimed, this is actually something pretty based that I don't actually have a problem with. He claimed that America deserved 9/11 on stream, to which he got banned almost immediately for making that statement. But honestly,
well, Matt, I have a quick question then. If he got banned after making such insensitive comments, how does he still have such a massive following today?
you know, it beats me, Ramon.
Is it? It can't be. It can't be what, nepotism or anything. He there's no way he has any sort of connections in the media space or online media, right?
Not that I'm aware of, except for maybe his uncle, who works for a little news company out in California called the Young Turks.
Tell me more.
A quote unquote Democrat or quote unquote leftist or left leaning news broadcast that mostly is just a mouthpiece for the DNC.
Well, I got a mouthpiece for the DNC. I got something that'll fit in their mouthpiece.
Oh yeah. Ramon's coming with the hard hitting.
Coming with the hard hitting political coverage, folks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So Fox News, if you want to hire Ramon, he is available.
I will. I don't care who it is. Whoever the highest bidder is, folks.
Fox News, CNN.
Mm-hmm.
He plays both sides, so no matter what, he comes out on top.
I come out on top. That's right.
But yeah, he does have quite a bit of support from his uncle. I think they did have a falling out because he used to be an official correspondent or co-host or anchor, whatever you want to call
presenting
it.
very hard-hitting news during 3 p.m. on a Wednesday.
mostly just fluff pieces that he would post to Facebook. And
I got a piece he can fluff.
girls on the internet would call him Woke Bay. That was before his Twitch career took off. Is he became a meme for being the quote unquote sexy Marxist man on Facebook, which makes me want to blow my brains out a little bit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, he's kind of like a young Stalin figure, I guess you could say. I don't know. Apparently, Stalin was hot when he was young. So.
Oh yeah, he was looking pretty dapper when he was a young one. Kind of reminds me of myself a little bit. To be perfectly honest with you,
Stalin bottomed all the time, I guess maybe. But
no, Stalin was a strict top, and so am I,
it
baby.
was pretty well documented.
Oh yeah, we're talking about top power on this podcast. Ramon doesn't understand because he's a fully gay power bottom.
No. First of all, power bottom. That's also I feel like in the gay community a huge compliment.
Yeah, it is. I'm complimenting you.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. It's just misguided, is what I'm saying. It's like it's
pretty well guided.
I'd say it's as
well guided as a cruise missile.
I don't know if this is like a good comparison, but it's like if a bartender screwed up by giving you an extra shot in your drink, it's like, yeah, they fucked up because you didn't ask for it, but at the same time, it's like it's a nice gesture. It's nice to say that I'd be a highly valued commodity in the gay community. It's just I'm not. So I'll take the compliment.
But you're keeping the city economy afloat with your DSLs that were out of commission. And you're the reason why we're going into a recession right now is because your DSLs were not in commission.
No, we're going into a fucking recession because Vosh is still here.
Listeners, who are you going to trust? The man with no Jewish heritage at all to talk about the economy, or the man who's a quarter Jewish?
Well, I would argue that...
I think the people can decide.
I'm more of a voice of the people. Well, if the people want to listen to the establishment, the parenthesis establishment.
Okay, we got to turn that off. He's getting on his Israel shit again.
I'm just saying.
Whenever we play that sound, it triggers his PTSD from when he was assaulted in a... in a
synagogue.
I
was not assaulted. I will admit, I was in a synagogue once. I was some sort of like multicultural trip, and they served me undercooked scrambled eggs. So,
what a travesty!
I'm not saying
scrambled eggs.
I'm not saying they were trying.
So
to
therefore,
poison,
he wants to gas all of the Jews.
I'm not saying they were trying to poison the outsiders, but I could have gotten salmonella, Matt.
His tummy could have gotten whole.
Yeah, let's just say I was never served anything undercooked at a mosque. I've never been served anything.
They're haram, or they're halal there.
The only thing I've ever been served at a Catholic church is wine, because they kept trying to get the kids drunk for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to lower the inhibitions of the children, Matt. Why were they doing that?
Why would they do such a thing?
Why would they do that? Beats me.
But yeah, again, back to Hasan. We keep going off track. We need to keep the train going here. But we're getting some good riffs in, so it's valuable. But back to Hasan. He did have support from his uncle Chunk Uyghur, as we like to call him. Chunk Yogurt.
Fucking internet.
Yeah, so Chunk Yogurt is the figurehead for the Young Turks. He's the mastermind, started in public broadcasting way back in the 90s, built it up as an internet media platform, which, to his credit, is an achievement because he started about adjacent or parallel to the time that YouTube was just starting up, and then built it to where it's at today, which is pretty large, admittedly.
Almost as big as him.
Almost as big as him. But anyways,
Chang should take some notes from his nephew on how to lose the weight.
Yeah, he really should. Yeah. Obviously, Hasan's got some pointers there. He's got some personal trainers that are getting him on those.
His personal trainers are middle finger and index finger down the throat.
Jesus Christ, Ramon.
I'm just saying. I'm not. Look, well, I am saying he should do it, but I'm not saying anyone else should do it.
Only Hasan.
Only Hasan.
Ramon only body shames
this
Hasan.
Episode. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the focus of the episode.
No, everyone listening who's not Hasan is beautiful.
Who has suffered from bulimia in the past know that Ramon thinks your body is beautiful.
I do.
He just thinks Hasan is disgusting.
Exactly.
But anyways, back to Chunk. Chunk pretty much skyrocketed Hasan's career from the get-go. Yes, Hasan did get a degree in political science.
Nerd.
But as most people with a poli-sci degree will tell you, that does not guarantee any form of secure employment.
No, let's just say the people who get a poli-sci degree end up in a poly relationship, but they're not fucking anyone. So do the math on that one, folks. Glorified cucks.
So yeah, Chunk gave his nephew a job. Tale as old as time, you know, a little bit of nepotism never hurt anybody except for the other people who could have gotten that job who actually had talent. But
well,
Hasan started his career there.
In the business, Matt.
Made some videos for their Facebook. Got deemed the woke bae or whatever the fuck his dumbass nickname was. Then started streaming on Twitch as a supplemental income at first, and then somewhere along those lines, he had a falling out with his uncle and decided, you know, I'm going to do my own thing. Yeah. My Twitch is blowing up. I can go out on my own. And he did. And he made a successful career out of it, streams that I personally do not understand the entertainment value of, other than just like the small clips where he gets mad at Destiny.
I really like
the clip aforementioned.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
That one's gold.
I mean, gold.
You know, that's the only entertainment value that I can really bring out of those. But then the hours of just fucking reacting to YouTube videos.
So boring.
Quote unquote reacting. Like, he pauses them so fucking frequently.
And everyone he
boils
reacts
my blood.
to is so much more talented than him, too.
Yes.
It's really insane.
They just make so much better content. Honestly, the highlights of his streams recently have been the ones where he has Stav on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's had Stav on a few times, and those are pretty gold just because Stav is there and he's there to bully him, which is entertainment in and of itself because, you know, Hasan's a little bit too insecure to rag on himself in an entertaining way. But, yeah, so that's my take on Hasan.
That's
kind of overhyped. I would say a detriment to the leftist community as well as just the entertainment community.
He's a political Cameron Dallas.
Yes.
He 90% of his revenue comes from horny girls aged like 14 to 17 and has real like no actual like talent that he can perform or earn revenue off of, but somehow
don't forget the gay men, Ramon.
Oh,
or the closeted gay men, such as yourself.
No, not me. Not a fan of Hasan. And I've been on the record bullying his body, so
now we have proof.
So
that he definitely is not jealous of Hasan's body, and
I'll take his body in a heartbeat. I'm not okay. I'm not gonna be an idiot. Obviously, he's like goes to the gym a lot and he fucking takes care of his body, but it's not about whether he does that or not. It's whether it's good enough for him.
Yes. Yeah.
This is
about psychological
this
warfare.
is directed directly to Hasan, right? Like, of course, like 99% of men out there would kill for his body because he's like 6'3" or something, and he's like can probably bench probably 280 on a fucking light day. And so, yeah, obviously most men would kill for that, but most men would get that body and then be like feel like literal gods. Like they would absolutely they could die happy the next day.
Yeah,
you know
if I got that body tomorrow, I would just fucking, I don't know what I would even do, but I would just be fucking chilling. Exactly. I would just be chilling.
But if it's not good enough for him, then I'm not going to say no to a little sneaky opportunity. It's like finding that little hole on the Death Star. It's one weak point and then just not exploiting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like finding that one penny on the side of the street.
Right. Yep, there it is, folks. There it is. Just a little teaser.
Just a little snippet. Just a little snippet of the Israeli peeking out.
Yeah, he really is just the DSA's version of Cameron Dallas. He'd probably show up to like a quote unquote concert and like there's no actual like performance going on. He kind of just sits on stage and like says hi to people and signs autographs, and somehow that's considered something that needs a venue rented out, you know? An actual musician could have been using that stage to perform. Instead, he's just there kind of like taking selfies with little like 16-year-old girls who think
it's called a meet and greet, Ramon,
the head
and
of the next
provides value
revolution.
to the fans.
Okay, so my mistake. I guess it provides some fucking value, enough value to buy a freaking Porsche and a $3 million house, I guess.
Honestly, I shit on him for making those decisions, but if I was in his shoes, I don't think I would go that buck wild. I wouldn't buy a fucking Porsche because I'm not a small dick loser. I would just buy
a Porsche.
A normal car that's like fuel efficient, like not a Tesla,
well,
but maybe a nice hybrid, like
a nice
tricked
car,
out hybrid.
He'd trick it out. He'd put like a little dildo on the driver's seat. That would
No,
go up and down
no,
with
I
the
would put a
suspension.
dildo on the passenger seat for my bitches to sit on.
Well, you'd have both.
No.
And then the back seat would have none because I'd be back there lounging, telling my driver Matt to take me someplace, and he's busy with a dildo up his ass. Right, yes, sir, right away, sir.
No, this is a fabricated reality. That
And I
Ramon
close
is
my
coming up
curtains
with.
because I don't want to see him snorting poppers while he drives me to my private jet.
Oh man. For a man who claims not to be gay, you sure bring up poppers a lot. Ramon.
I'm a sociologist. I have to know these things.
He's been studying poppers,
And to
the
be
chemical structure of poppers under a microscope.
I don't know if you want to save this for a different episode or if you want to open this can of worms now, but we both had direct experience being in very close proximity to a poppers enthusiast.
I mean, we got like 20 minutes left to pad out the hour, so
Okay,
we can go into
You
it.
want to open that fucking jar?
Oh yeah, I can tell the story since
Oh, boy, let's
I
go.
lived it. But
For legal reasons, should we mention the name of the company?
no, we should definitely
Okay.
not, because he did threaten to sue us even before we started a podcast. So let's start with some ground rules. For the sake of the story and to protect or
I don't even know
protect ourselves from legal liability.
I don't even know if it's still in business or it's still
probably
a
not
shell corporation that earned that PPP scam money.
But even if it's not, just mentioning the man or the man's company,
Man, the myth, the legend.
could get us in legal trouble. So for the sake of our own protection, let's just call him
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong.
Because something was Wong.
Because something was definitely wrong about that scenario. But he was a wealthy Chinese entrepreneur who Ramon actually got me roped into this. So
Well,
I blame Ramon entirely.
to be
Do
fair-
you want to
okay.
tell your story?
Yeah,
of
I'll
meeting him?
give some background first, so it doesn't sound like I'm just Ghislaine Maxwelling Matt here.
Which, jury's still out.
The jury's still out,
Jury's
but
still out.
Look, I'm not about to commit suicide suspiciously, folks. I didn't do anything wrong.
That's what he says now.
That's true. No, basically, I was out camping with the rest of my family, and we somehow randomly got stuck in a camping spot next to some very affluent-looking young Chinese man who was like unironically setting up a tent in Gucci sneakers, and I was just like, I didn't know what the hell. Like, I'm like, okay, like, you're rich, I get that, but why
He
the fuck?
immediately got hard and was like,
No,
I need
no.
I need to get close to this
Did
man.
not get hard at all. I was genuinely confused. I'm like, why the hell has this guy got the Gucci snakes on his sneakers and he's setting up a tent? And then like he set up the tent and set up the whole campsite, and then he like left. And I was like, what the, like, this guy went through all that work, ruined his Gucci sneakers for like nothing. And then hours later he came back and eventually started talking with like my parents or something, and he was all talking about like, oh yeah, I'm not going to do the voice, by the way, but he had
definitely could do the voice.
He had an accent, folks.
And it would not be even slightly exaggerated.
No.
This is just what he sounded like. So just picture the voice.
Yeah.
Let's give the fans a
for the
moment
record,
to picture what he
for
sounded
the record,
like.
Matt is doing the eyes right now.
I am not doing the
That's
eyes.
just what he's doing.
That is slanderous.
Anyways,
What a fucking liar, dude.
whatever. So yeah, he came over and was talking to us about like his whole thing. He's like, yeah, actually, I'm starting like this new business from the ground up. It's going to be like basically like an Airbnb, but for campsites. So, I'm going to have
Which
people.
is just the start of any great business idea,
Yeah,
is just
exactly.
copying another business and then being like, but for this.
But for this, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, obviously the foundations were fantastic. And so he was like, yeah, people reserve a campsite. They let us know where it's located, and we send people out. And we basically set up their tent and their air mattresses and like their grill and everything like that to have a fun camping trip. And then they don't have to worry about packing anything up. They just drive up, enjoy the campsite, and leave. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, there's some logistical issues certainly with like where the location of these campsites are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But
And mind you, this is like a 27-year-old man.
Yeah,
and
I think it was like
Ramon in his
26.
own head is already poking holes in his business
yeah,
idea.
so I'm like, this doesn't. And like the only reason why I didn't leave sooner is because I mean this guy was objectively stinking filthy rich.
Yeah, he was
And
stacked up.
if you throw enough money at a problem, I mean you can overcome some hurdles. Not saying if in the long term, but like you can force something to work for a little while.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he was like still in the very early stages of this quote unquote business, and like he basically was doing everything himself to do like test runs, and all his customers that he had were just like other Chinese people he knew in the area.
Oh my god! And the marketing videos were so fucking.
Oh, the
creepy.
marketing videos were crazy.
Like imagine like a Chinese TikTok where like you can just sense that like the CCP has a gun to their head behind the camera, and that's basically what the vibe of his marketing materials were. It was just like
Yeah.
camera floating through the campsite with like overly cheery like fucking ukulele music in the background.
It was weird as shit.
It was really
Yeah, but when he
like,
took his time to actually
creepy.
set the tents up, like some of them looked nice. Like they were very, very well.
yeah,
set
they were
up.
well set up.
He had
tents.
like these little solar powered lights that would light shit up and it looked cool and all that. And like objectively, like if things worked out logistically, like I could see people paying, you know, up to like maybe a couple hundred, maybe even $250 a night for these places if, you know, he had like some nice amenities included in the whole setup. But anyways, like he approached us and I forgot what I was doing. Well, it was summer 2020, so it was COVID. I wasn't doing shit. I was doing shit. I was collecting money from the government. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he was getting that government cheese.
Yeah, which thank you very much, Uncle Sam.
Oh yeah, thank you, Uncle Sam.
But
baby.
yeah, I mean, I had free time to kill basically, and so like, he was kind of talking about like he would need maybe some help to like get the business off the ground, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, okay, I'm not doing shit. Like I can go out and you know learn how to like set up the tents and shit if he needs like a little, you know, just like grunt manual labor type person out there. Like I don't have shit to do and I'd be earning some extra money, so whatever. So we set that up, and then the next weekend I basically drove back out there to, I think it was the same campsite that we met him at the week before, and so he was showing me like basically giving me a test run, and it was really funny too because this training was geared specifically for very like unassimilated Chinese immigrants who were renting these places out. So it was like the hyper focus on hygiene was insane. Like he would like record every second of me spraying like the inside of a tent with Lysol to show that it was clean. And like every single time I stepped inside and out of the tent, I had to take my shoes off because
yeah, of course, it's an Asian household.
Yeah, because God forbid there's dirt at the bottom of a tent in nature.
Yeah,
And it would even go.
God
so,
forbid a speck of dirt
it would
gets
go.
inside.
It would
the
go
tent.
so far as like literally like these people would complain if they showed up to their campsite and there was like a fucking leaf on their fold out chair. They'd be disgusted by it. And it's like, you chose to drive all the way from like Bellevue, Washington to the middle of the forest to fucking sit in camp, and like you're disgusted by like a leaf on your chair. Like, why would you even?
Well, yeah, they're from Bellevue, Ramon.
Well,
What did you expect?
I don't understand. It's because like they just like in China or in America, like they don't know nature. Like they just don't get it. And so it was really weird, and it was kind of annoying. But like, you know, I've got that Hispanic work gene in me, so you know I could get through it pretty fine. It was no problem. And that weekend, really didn't do too much except get trained and all that. And I, you know, spent the night out there because he still didn't have his logistical shit set up. And I already see Matt chomping at the bit, ready to try to accuse me of some fugazi Fanuc shit over there.
Hey, you're the one projecting. I wasn't gonna say shit.
Well, we've had this conversation before, and
You're
I
the
know
one. You're the one getting a little preemptively defensive.
Usually,
over
when I
there.
get to this point of the conversation, Matt has to insinuate the worst because, well, let's just say we'll find out why later.
Well, they say groomers were often abused themselves. So
well,
that's
I'm not
all
a groomer or an abuser or the abused, so
and you're all three.
no.
You're all three.
To
Baby.
be fair, if I was, yes, I would be all three just to check all the boxes. But I'm not
He's a
any.
completionist.
I'm a
ladies and
completionist,
gentlemen.
folks, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm none of those. And so like, and that night he was like, I mean, again, he was like 26, 27, so he's still relatively young. He's been rich his whole damn life. His dad has like beachfront properties down in like Orange County and everything like that. So
Orange County.
yeah, he's fucking rich. But basically he like pulled out his weed pen. He had all this fucking like, I forgot what was it? It was like Captain Morgan or something like that.
Yeah, it was some like high shelf rum. I don't think it was Captain Morgan.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, it was some weird, I forgot what it was. It had like a seal on it. It was like good $50-$60 rum, but I mean, he's rich, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
And so, and he was like drinking that, and he was passing it to me, and I was like, okay, well, I'll drink a little bit. I'm not trying to get like really fucked up because like I hardly know this strange Chinese man who's starting a business. Like I'm not a fucking
this gay
degenerate
Chinese
alcoholic.
man who invited a Latin
we
boy.
We did know he didn't want a Latin boy because, for the record, the fiance who he tried cheating on with several times was mayo ass crack ass program or software developer or something for.
To be fair, you pass as mayo ass cracker ass.
Yeah, but not his boyfriend was like a little blonde bimbo.
Oh yeah,
so
that.
I don't know if I passed the right test.
Yeah, you don't wear programming socks.
Either way, even if I did, it was like I'm not real. I don't want to get super drunk with a guy I hardly know. And
Ramon has a lot of experience in this field, so he knows, when you get drunk with a guy that you don't know, like things can happen.
Well, things can happen, and that's exactly why I didn't do it. And no, I don't have experience. I have common sense, Matt. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe because I've known Matt for so many years that he's passed on this information to me.
Yeah.
So,
let's just say that.
Yeah, let's just say that. So. Yeah, anyway, he actually brought some like crazy exotic like Chinese food too, which is actually really good. Like he brought like these like.
I was not a fan. I was not a
well,
fan.
You're a hater. I wasn't a big.
He was like giving us fucking chicken feet.
Okay, the chicken feet sucked.
Chicken feet fucking suck dick.
Because there's
okay?
like
There's
no
meat
on
them whatsoever.
I tried eating those. That was a mess. He brought the duck necks though were crazy good. I loved the duck necks. They were like in this weird like chili sauce. They were they were legit. But anyways. Aside from the food, it was
Ramon
whatever.
loves neck. Giving, receiving.
Nope, just receiving, folks. Well, okay, again, is neck... Okay, 30-second break here. Is neck only in terms of fellatio on a man?
I would say so.
Because,
because, like, where's the neck involved
I guess it's not.
eating pussy? It's
it's not. Okay, well then, yes.
The neck is only involved
I'm only
if you're
I'm only a
dick down your
receiver of
throat.
neck, folks. That was just a clarifying point. Okay, we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, where was I? Yeah. So I guess, yeah. I mean, I took a couple shots, but I didn't really get messed up, and I just went to bed. Woke up the next day. Whatever.
Had a strange sharp pain in his anus.
Did not have a strange sharp pain at all. I slept actually rather well because he brought out these nice air mattresses. So
I bet you slept well. I bet he
I did sleep
put a
pretty
little
well.
something in those shots.
And for the record, I woke up. My sleeping bag was still fully zipped up over my body, so no funny business.
He covered his tracks.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he did. Anyways, so no funny business on that trip. Overall, it was honestly just kind of boring, and I was like fine doing it for the summer, but he still didn't have like really. I didn't feel like a great business plan going forward, and he was talking about all these lofty goals about you get into this business early, you're going to be a millionaire, blah blah blah. He's like,
yeah, he was a big talker.
Yeah, he was a big talker, and I was like, well, okay, like. It'd be nice to earn some money, but honestly, like if you can't explain these basic principles of how you're even going to get the materials out here in like a cost-effective manner and actually like get contracts with like the parks department and everything like that, like I don't know how the fuck this is going to work. So
yeah, if you're not willing to put in the work on the back end, then you're not going to make it.
Well, and then basically, so that happened, and like there was really no like pay dispute either that weekend, which we'll get into later. But
there was a pay dispute later on.
Later on, yeah. Once our Jewish co-host got involved, ironically enough.
I'm a fierce negotiator, Ramon.
Well, let's just say I'll be honest. It was not the pay disagreements were not brought on because of Matt's heritage, we'll say.
No, they were brought on because of Mr. Wong's heritage.
Mr. Wong was very Wong when it came to how to pay his employees.
Yes, he was not only very Wong, but very illegal.
Yeah, needless to say, that I mean, I did get paid that weekend, and I got paid, I mean, decent enough money. Like
under the table, mind you.
It was under the table, so like if
by proxy is illegal. Like,
yeah, whatever. It was under the table.
Claiming to run a legitimate business,
so
you cannot.
Yeah, like I didn't get refunded for like gas or anything, but like if I got paid under the table, I more or less balanced out to probably slightly above minimum wage. I don't know.
Can you imagine if he hired us this summer to do that, and turned out the same way where he didn't reimburse you
Oh
for
my
gas
God.
when gas is like $5.
That'd
It would be even worse.
I mean, he would still try to pull that shit. I guarantee you. It would be
Yes.
hilarious if he was so desperate he reached out to us again.
Yeah.
I think at that point,
I don't think he will ever
at
reach
that
out to
point,
us
I would
again.
love to dabble and see what kind of agreements we could come to, bend to our will. Otherwise, your fiance finds out about what Matt is going to get into here next.
Oh, yeah. So my experience with Mr. Wong was quite different, which is why I suspect Ramon is not telling the full story. Perhaps he
telling the
blocked
full
it out of
story.
his memory or
Did
something.
not block it out.
But why I say Ramon wrote me into it is because he quite literally did wrote me into it. He reached out to me that summer, right after he started working for him, and brought up this opportunity. Oh, I'm working for this startup guy doing campsites, sort of
Chinese
like Airbnb.
investment opportunity.
A Chinese investment opportunity is, I think, what you called it verbatim. And I was like, I'm in business school. I know China is, on the rise economically, so I'm willing to take advantage. But in the end, I was taken advantage of in more ways than one.
So many ways.
In so many ways. But anyways, I offered to come up there to that campsite. It was like an hour and a half drive away, which isn't too far, but mind you, my car's a piece of shit with horrible fuel economy. So I was like, I need to be reimbursed for the gas money coming up here, because it's like at least $10 worth of gas coming there and back.
For context, this was not Biden's America, so gas was still somewhat affordable.
Yes, because it's entirely Biden's fault.
Yeah,
that
there were
gas
to
prices
be
went
fair,
up.
when we got the gas, there were no "I did this" stickers. So, I mean, checkmate, I guess.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
but I offered to give Ramon a ride up there, because at this time he did not have a car, because he was a broke ass little punk bitch, taking money from the government. Where I was a hard
public
working
transportation
American man.
enthusiast, because
A public transportation.
I'm a
enthusiast.
working man.
A public transport activist,
An
like our good
activist,
friend.
folks. Yeah.
Our good friend Nolan.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Non-binary friend of the show. Or they have pronouns now.
I think they're still going by any pronoun. It's
Okay, well
hard.
then,
It's
I don't
hard
know.
to keep track.
The gray area friend of the show, Nolan.
Yeah. The non-gender specific friend of the show, trans. Yes. They are trans. I know that for a fact. But anyways, I drive Ramon up there. We get there. We put in like a good 2 days of work, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like, we didn't work the whole days, but we were required to be there.
Yeah, we were required to be there the whole 2 days. Or 3 days, I think it was.
What was it?
It was 2 days of work and then one extra day that we
just left. Yeah,
there and then left.
Yeah, I would say it would probably was like maybe like a 7-hour work day each day we worked. But the problem was that, like, and this was one of the big problems I had with the company, was like if you were an actual employee of this company, like, okay, you do 6, 7, 8 hours of manual labor setting up these tents for the day, but then it's like, are you just gonna do an hour and a half commute back home and have to come back the next day? Or it almost makes more sense just to have them like stay out there and spend the night, but then you got to reserve a campsite and you got to hire employees who are willing to like stay there a whole night just in order to fulfill their duties as like a employee.
Yeah, as a facilitator, which like then it gets into having to pay them for that time that they're there, or at least compensate them in food or whatever.
Cock or poppers.
Or cock or poppers, whatever way that you seem fit.
That was reimbursed always.
No,
every single way.
No, I wanted to be reimbursed in money.
And gladly.
He tried to reimburse me in poppers, to which I refused. But anyways, we get there, we work. Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong. I'm going to have to go back and put that out.
No,
What's the
I think we're good.
There? 58:34. Okay. Yeah, this man was not a fan of my work ethic.
No.
Ramon's Mexican work ethic outpaced mine. Also, my learning curve of understanding Asian culture and the fact that dirt, not a single speck of dirt, was supposed to be
not allowed
in the tent also got to me a little bit. And the speed at which I set up tents was not fast enough for his liking.
No.
So
not at all.
By the end of our allotted work time, he offered to...
The work set us free, Matt.
Yeah, the work set us free.
Work set us free.
He offered to pay us, I think it was like 4 hours combined.
Wait, I got a really quick riff break. What do we? Okay, what if there was like a sales bro version of a concentration camp? But instead of the work will set you free, it said work hard, play hard. And it's like they're just forced to try to make cold call sales all day. There's just a gate that says work hard, play hard.
Hello, this is Chaim. Would you be interested in buying a
life insurance policy?
A life insurance policy.
You never know when your day is going to come.
You never know. It's, you know what they say, it's my job to tell you about life insurance, not tell your family that you didn't have any.
Exactly.
That's a real slogan that I came across when I was working in insurance. That guy was a real piece of shit. I'm glad I stole business from him.
Yeah.
But anyways,
sorry for that quick break. It just
quick riff break.
I had a little Jimmy Neutron moment. I wanted the neurons firing when a riff like that comes up.
Oh yeah, when you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
And of course, to be fair too, these are not like the concentration camps you're thinking of. Like they're not in like some miserable part of Eastern Poland. They're
in Florida.
Yeah, they're on some resort in Florida. Yeah, like just south of Orlando.
They're in Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got something you can kiss me on.
And these nuts. But anyways, get there, we work. We get offered like 4 hours of total pay, which was not enough.
Yeah, it was like definitely. I don't even know if that covered the actual hours of work we actually physically worked.
It did not. He tried to compensate us in fucking weed and alcohol and poppers. To which we took some of the weed and the alcohol, but
of course we're cultured.
Denied the poppers. We were not a fan of that. But then the problems really start when we all go to sleep the first night. Because we're all in the same tent. He orchestrated us all to be in the same tent.
Do you think he did? I think he was kind of
really think he did. I really think he put us all in the same tent for those purposes.
That's crazy.
And then I cannot fall asleep because I burned my hand. Giving
a hand job with no lube.
No, I burned my hand putting the campfire out.
He gave someone's dick an Indian burn, folks.
No, I burned my hand because I put the campfire out with
snake bite.
With a bucket of water, which then steamed up into my hand and burned my hand. So I was in a good amount of pain. I couldn't sleep. And then while I'm tossing and turning in bed, sort of leans over to my sleeping bag. And
whoa, you got to clip that one too.
Fuck. Shit.
It's around like 102.
102.
Yeah.
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong.
Not the other name.
This guy leans over to my fucking sleeping bag and he's like, Matt, can you not sleep? And I was like, no, I can't sleep. And he was like, are you horny? And I was like, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to some cock is what he said.
No, I was not going to say no to getting my cock sucked what I was in it for.
Interesting. You see the Asian man as the submissive one.
No, it had nothing to do with his race. It was entirely his energy.
Fetishization.
It was entirely his vibe that he put out into the world. But I misread the vibe, as it turns out, because as I get into his sleeping bag, he immediately like grabs my ass, and I'm like, immediately tap out. Immediately tap out. I'm like, all right, no, I'm good. Go back to my own sleeping bag. Go to bed. He leans over again, and he's like, are you mad at me? And I'm like, no, I'm just not interested anymore. Then we have a very awkward morning. We have breakfast. And then after breakfast, he like pulls me aside and he's like,
and he says this.
Ha! Gay!
No, he did not say that. He said, Matt, I will not have you like leading me on like this. I know you're trying to manipulate me for my money, like all this wild shit. Like out of nowhere, like I'm just trying to like move on and like pretend it didn't happen. And he's like, "You're trying to Me Too me right now."
He tried to fuck you.
He
in
tried
a
to
tent,
fuck
and
me.
he's like, "You were after it for my money."
Yes, literally,
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome.
And that made things very tense for the rest of the time that we worked there. So I immediately was checked out. I was like, all right, I'm putting my time in, and then I never want to see this guy ever again.
Yeah. Did he offer you poppers that night too?
Yeah, he did offer me poppers
Nice.
that night, and I was
Okay.
like, no, I don't want poppers because I know what they're for.
Well,
they literally just make your asshole gape open.
Right.
That's all they
why
do.
wouldn't you want them then, Matt?
Because I
So
don't
weird.
want anything up my ass.
So weird to not want that.
Yeah, it's weird for you to not
No.
want that. It's weird for you.
I'm like trying to put myself into Matt's head. I'm like, if I was Matt, why would there be no poppers? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's a mystery, but
Well, so and you think he purposefully put us in the same tent all together? Did you
Yes,
think there was gonna
I
be like
think
some
so.
like gay threesome that
I
eventually-
think that's what he was hoping for. And I think that's exactly why he suddenly came up with an extra tent the next night that
crazy.
he slept in separately.
Yeah, and also like I slept through this whole thing. Keep in mind, like I guess I'm somewhat. I'm not like a super deep, especially in a tent. I'm not a very deep sleeper, but like.
But he was
still.
doing hard Mexican work all day.
Yeah, I was
so-
doing hard Mexican work, and like hear anything going on. Like I don't think you guys got very loud. I mean, like.
No, it was
so,
all like whispers and awkward fucking
Yeah.
whispering at each other. And yeah.
Whispering in the voice.
but
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's crazy. So I guess I never asked you. Like he thought you guys were gonna start fucking or something, or I was gonna wake up to somebody getting their dick sucked, and I was just like, all right,
yeah.
that's just. I guess I'll be the fucking third wheel
Well,
here.
you knew he was like just aggressively horny because he was coming on to you quite heavily too.
He was like, yeah, he was like
saying he was gonna fist your ass and all this shit.
not
which
mine specific. He just made a lot of fisting jokes.
personally, if I was fully straight, I would not have let him do that to me.
Well, I
would-
can't.
so
What do you want me to
if it
do?
were me-
Beat the shit out of a wealthy Chinese
Yes.
businessman in the
Yes,
woods?
that's what I'm saying.
Who
You should Mark
knows my
Wahlberg his
full
ass.
name and basically my address.
Well, if you were a real man, that's what you would have done.
I guess
but-
I'm not a real man then, folks.
But anyways, yeah, he accused me of trying to Me Too him the morning after,
So awesome.
which was really fucking funny. This guy was clearly like very delusional and like paranoid and probably like had BPD or some shit like that. Like he was very off the wall, had a lot of grand schemes and plans.
He was crazy.
Yeah, he was wild, and his business plans were not very good.
They're
So
awful.
we put in our 2 days instead of 2 weeks, and then we came home. And I'm forgetting there was some extra drama there. We tried to enlist our friend to also come help us, and then after that
yeah.
incident, I was like, "Yo, bro,
Well, we
you
like
might
sort
want
of-
to stay away."
We were like, oh yeah, maybe. And then like on our drive home, you were like, you explained everything that because and keep in mind, folks, like Matt didn't tell me this like the next day, right? Because I feel like if you told me like this guy literally tried to fuck me and give me poppers in the tent last night, like. We could have left that day. Like I don't give a fuck about helping him take down the tents at that point.
yeah.
I guess.
But no, I didn't. I felt bad because I didn't want to ruin Ramon's job
Oh,
opportunity.
that's very nice. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
I was like, I'm not gonna cut this hardworking Mexican man out of his
Yeah.
well-earned
I'll
pesos.
take one for the team.
So I'll almost take one for the team and just suck it up for the rest of the time that we're there and then head home. To which blowing up both of our phones. Fucking shit! I keep forgetting.
We're at 108.
108. Fuck.
I don't. Well, okay. To be fair, okay. For the record, folks, if you hear a third beep, that's because Matt has exposed the first name of this man for the third time, and his name is not Mr. Wong. But I mean, for the record, like, I don't even know if we could get sued if we give his first name. To be fair.
I don't want to risk it.
right.
Just in case he listens to this for whatever reason.
Let's just say if you stumble upon a website with nothing but Chinese reviews and the whole business venture is setting up tents, don't go. We can't give the name, but we could give a little hint unless you want.
What's the hint? The name of the business?
Well, the name is we don't have to give the exact name. We could say it's like
Super happy campfire fun time. It's something like that.
Moonrise log cabin fire. I don't know.
Yeah. It's getting dangerously close, but yeah.
Moonrise
Kingdom.
chimneys. Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom, happy go lucky fun time, extra double.
Extra America fun time. Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, that was my experience with that guy. Afterwards, the aftermath is where it really gets fun, because he calls both of us and he's like pissed off, I think, because like he wanted us both to come work for him like full time. He wanted us both to drop out of school.
He wanted us to drop out of school and work for literally no money.
Yes, literally work for
no
free.
money.
Like he wanted you to be his indentured servant. I'm pretty sure. Like he wanted you to move with him to California and be his like
he asked me
butt boy.
Yes, he was probably thinking
He
that.
was
but that's
thinking that.
not what would have happened.
Which is why I had to tell you on the ride home, because I was like, Ramon is nearly agreeing to go with this man to California. I need to save my boy from becoming a sex slave.
He had asked me how much
getting trafficked to Epstein's Island.
He asked me how much it would have cost for me to go down to California with him for like a couple weeks to like explore the business down there, and like he said, oh, like don't worry about the expenses because my dad has like some beach house in Huntington Beach you can stay at, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, and this is before I knew he was a sexual predator, and I was like, okay, I mean, like, I still don't think this business is going anywhere, but if I get like an all expenses paid vacation down to LA or whatever, like, and get paid for it, I'm like, okay, fine. And I was like, I don't know, like $3,000 or something, and he was like, okay. So I mean, like, I didn't sign any paperwork, but it was like, yeah, at the time I was like under the impression like that was a possibility, and I wouldn't say no to like getting like a free fucking vacation.
There's another example of him having favoritism for you is like he asked us both how much money he would need to pay us for us both to like drop everything and come work for him.
Yeah.
And my estimate was like apparently way too high.
He was like, what is the cost of you quitting school? And Matt was like, I don't know, $50K a year at least.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yes. He was like, that's way too much money. And he was like, you're not worth that much money. It's like, okay, well, you're not worth quitting school.
What the fuck? Like,
you're not worth dropping everything to come work for some random Chinese man I've known for a day.
You think about the cost of foregoing your last year of college, like the last year you need in order to officially have a degree.
Yeah.
It's like, it's definitely worth more than like skipping your freshman year.
Yes.
Because you're like almost at the finish line. So it's like $50K is honestly like borderline like low. Like,
yeah, $50K is like a median salary.
Yeah, you could earn that straight out of college with like a reasonable degree.
Yes.
And like, so it's like, I mean, like, honestly, you wouldn't be out of.
Says the econ major.
Yeah, I mean, you would not be out of the fucking realm of possibility. Like asking for like $80K. And it's like, yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's like, you're literally asking me to forego the ability to say I am a college graduate and like forego any money working for a legitimate business that doesn't offer me poppers on my fucking off day. So,
that's a perk of the job, Ramon.
I guess, sorry,
It's the whole employee health benefits.
80K
is prep and poppers.
80K minus all the drugs needed for gay sex.
Which is a lot.
That's the healthcare plan, by the way. There's no healthcare coverage.
There's just prep and poppers
your
left.
Your deductible
left on your
is the
desk.
The $80 of poppers it's delivered to your desk monthly.
That's your deductible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a wild saga. I'm glad we made it out of there alive.
Wild.
Don't want to leave the episode off on that sort of bummer of a note of me getting sexually assaulted.
It's kind of awesome.
It is kind of funny, but I feel like we sort of need to close off with something a bit happier. Do we want to do the Delaware bit?
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah. We're kind of brainstorming
we concocted something after recording the last episode that we think might be a real treat for you folks. Do you want to go into the premise and,
so
roll it out?
So basically, I mean, we all know the Guinness World Record books, like in charge of deciding how many push pins a woman can shove in her pussy, but I mean, like, a world record's a world record, I guess. So we had the idea that like these ideas were going to sort of combine in a genius man's mid-Atlantic man's head at some point. He's going to be maybe drinking a Guinness, and he's just like, he kind of puts two and two together. He's like, oh, what the fuck? We got beer holding world records and shit? Like, that's crazy.
That's fucking wild,
That's fucking wild. And then like all of a sudden it's just like boom. He says like, yo, I got a fucking friend. He's got so much fucking top from the whores out here. I bet he's got the world record for how many dick he got sucked.
I think you're right, bro. Like I've been going to fucking Chili's on Tuesday afternoons. They got the 2-for-1 fucking
love
jalapeno
Chili's.
poppers.
Oh yeah.
And I'll give a girl some of those, and I don't know what it is. It must be some sort of, but
it's fucking crazy. Well, and two, because it's fucking like all you gotta give them is the fucking jalapeno poppers, and then like they say that they want crack, and you say you'll give them crack if they give you head, and then they'll suck your dick even if you don't have crack. It's fucking crazy. And so
you don't even need the fucking crack, bro.
It's crazy, yeah. So like my friend found this out, and he's been getting his dick sucked like every day for like the past 3 weeks.
Every fucking day, bro.
And so I'm like literally like I'm calling up fucking Mr. Guinness right now, and I'm gonna be on the phone. And I'll be like, excuse me, is this Mr. Guinness? Because my fucking friend.
Is this Mr. fucking Guinness?
Yeah. Is this Mr. Guinness? Because my friend, he's got his dick sucked like 10 times last week. That's got to be a record.
It's got to fucking be a record, bro.
Yeah. And I'll be like, and I'll be serious about it. I'll be like, no, I will not be fucking put on hold, Mr. Guinness. Okay. And no, I'm not. No.
Sir, my name is not Mr. Guinness. It's Miles. And I've told you before, there is no world record for most sucked dick.
Well, not for you, because you sound like a fucking bitch, Miles.
Sir,
No, put me on the phone with fucking
that.
Mr. Guinness. I will not wait because
there is no Mr. Guinness.
No, because that guy across the street is probably getting his dick sucked right now, and he might be taking the record. I can't wait.
Sir, once again, I don't know how many times I can tell you this, but there is no record for most sucked man on the world.
Well, not fucking yet, because you won't listen. Where's Mr. Guinness?
Again, there is no Mr. Guinness. But I will tell you,
who the fuck is making this beer,
sir? You're gonna have to lower your tone with me, okay? Because
this is the last time.
I'll have you know something, sir. Is that I'm actually from fucking Delaware too, bro.
Oh fuck!
I'm from fucking Delaware, and if you come down here asking for Mr. fucking Guinness again, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
You fucking Dover trash.
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Yeah, I bet you will, buddy. Come suck my dick so I can win the fucking record, bitch.
I will kick your fucking ass so hard.
Yeah. Put your fucking boss, Mr. Guinness, on the phone, bitch.
I'll shove a bottle of Guinness up your fucking ass.
Yeah,
So my name isn't Jared Fogle II.
Oh.
No relation. I don't be touching no kids, yo.
You be touching them fucking.
I don't be touching no kids, yo.
You got the world record for touching them little fucking 12-year-old footlongs, bro. You fucking pedophile.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that's a good way to end that.
Yeah, that's a perfect.
That's a
way.
high note.
Yeah.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries, and everyone
pay us on
spectrum.
Patreon.
Pay us on Patreon. Subscribe on Spotify.
Yeah.
Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on all our shit.
American Stream Snipers on everything, right?
American Super Squad.
Super Squad. Sorry,
that's the old name. That's the old name that can't be monetized.
American Super Squad.
We're family friendly.
Pay us. Watch us on everything. Yeah. Ciao.
Ciao.